Let's return to get some reaction then to the speech that we've just heard in the West Midlands from Sir Keir Starmer. We can speak to Nick Gray about that speech. He's the CEO of GTech, a small to medium company based in Worcestershire that makes floor cleaning and garden products. Nick Gray, thank you very much for talking to us. How much wiser are you now after that speech?
I'm terrified. I just don't understand how he thinks that what he's proposing now will stabilize the economy. Just increasing costs for employers. And he talks as though high tax equals good service. The only thing that can pay for service, the only thing that can pay for infrastructure and everything else is businesses making some money and paying tax. That's the only creation of wealth that I know of. And yet he absolutely ignores that fact and talks as though by putting all the load onto businesses immediately with high tax and you've got to pay people this, that they can suddenly generate more money from nowhere. It's terrifying, the things he says, because he just doesn't seem to take into account any business principles, that efficiency. And he talks about, the creative companies in the UK are lauded around the world, which, yeah, they are. Give us a chance then. You can't just load more tax onto business and expect the growth to come from nowhere. And investment doesn't equal growth. If you borrow money and say investment will generate jobs, someone's got to pay it. You've got to have a business creating growth to tax it, to pay for everything. Just putting the tax up on businesses when they're already struggling, it just doesn't make any sense. The things he was saying, they just don't make sense to me as a business owner. I don't know if anyone else gets it, but I don't.
Are you a working person?
Yeah, I go to work every day. I work quite hard, I think. I've been employing people for 23, 24 years now. I do my best. No tax avoidance schemes. I live in the UK. I own businesses, premises that we work in, totally committed to the UK economy. I believe I'm a working person. I don't expect that our Prime Minister would count me as one, but I think I am. I think I work hard and contribute a lot.
What will it mean to you then if national insurance contributions are put up? How will you fund that?
Well, we have to. We do our best, but it won't generate growth. It's like just putting up all these costs for employers. Almost every economist, as far as I'm aware, is aware that putting up tax reduces the tax take. So the more you load businesses with tax, the less money they're able to generate. And it just doesn't make sense what's being proposed to me. I just don't understand it.
Do you agree, though, that if we want good public services, and we are expecting there to be some cuts to public service funding, but if we've got to pay for them somehow, this is a Prime Minister who says he wants to treat the electorate like intelligent people and be frank with them about the challenges we face and the fact that we've got a weak economy and public services that have been underfunded, in his view. So to what extent do you support putting up national insurance contributions so things like the NHS will benefit?
Benefiting the NHS and services is 100% good for everybody. But you can't pretend to do it when actually you're damaging the country's ability to pay. Because if you just make a country or a company inefficient and load it down with taxes, it definitely can't pay its bills in future. Just raising taxes doesn't make services better. You can in a very short term, but if you kill the companies that are generating that tax, you just borrow more and more money and effectively stealing from the population by overspending, because he's borrowing money, we have to pay the interest back on it, and he's killing the growth that actually levels the books. The only way the government can get out of the kind of spiraling debt that previous governments have, and I don't think the last government was any better, don't get me wrong. I'm not interested really in any of the recent policies of governments, because they all abandon the principle that you need growth to pay for all this. The only way to really pay for services is by the economy growing. Otherwise, you're just borrowing money and pretending you're paying for it. If you borrow and pay for it, you're just creating a black hole for the future.
Nick Gray, CEO of GTech in Worcestershire, thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us.